Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and thanks for joining us today. I just put in the chat Omicron Commonwealth, and I'm going to be going in and discussing that. I just put it in so you know how to spell it. So we got a lot of things to talk about today, and the discussion is going to be coming from a show that I watched, and I just watched it this morning, so I don't even have all the details on it. And of course, it's from Gaia and Cosmic Disclosure, and it is with Emery Smith and Victoria Whitney, which she's a Navy officer. And so we're going to be talking about that today, about the information. And I would love for all of y'all to look that up because there's some important information there that we're really needing to discover and talk about. And it's about the Andromedas, is what she's talked about. Now, this is the second show that I have seen of hers. This one's only a 30-minute show, maybe 33 minutes, and it's packed full of information about the Andromedas. And so I'm going to say hello to a few people that are coming in while everybody's coming in, because, as I said, this is important information for us all to discuss and discover. Um, hey, did someone say shenanigans? Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Earth Mama. I see you've put a few questions in there. You have some things to talk about, and I have starred them. And I will be starring the questions that are coming in, and I'll get to them a little later. And I'll probably be going out of order on these questions. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself, so I have to make sure I get it in the right order. Since it's me doing it and you're going between reading the questions and answering the questions and channeling the information, sometimes we just don't get the orders or we miss a lot. So I'm not going to put the pressure on myself that I have to be in order. So forgive me if I miss anybody. So hi, Liz Daly. Hi, White Dragon. I actually sent you the link to that show. I don't know if you had time to watch it. Hey, Diane G. Hey, Finding Phoenix. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Sarah Brawls. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see. I see you have a question here. I'm going to star whatever I'm seeing. Let's see. And then I put in, if y'all see Omicron Commonwealth, I put that in because I wanted you to see the spelling of it. And I have just pulled up the website of that, and I'll go into that a little bit in a few minutes. Hey, Mary Lauer. Hey, Emmy J. Hey, Chris MK. Hey, Laurie Huntsinger. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Finding Phoenix. Hey, Son of Watt. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Laurie. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Diane. Hey, Emmy J. Hey, Damaris. How are you doing? Let's see. I'm going to start another one here that I see. Everybody getting their questions in. And let's see. Hey, Isabel. Hey, Bora Bora. Thanks for joining us today, especially on this Saturday. I do have some important information and go into a lot of stuff. Since 7 o'clock this morning, they've been giving me big downloads of information, and it's almost like I have been in a meditative state since 7 o'clock this morning. And apparently, all this information must be really important. And as I said, I don't have the full realm of this um, uh, Andromedas and what they're doing. And as I said, you need to watch the show to see a little bit more about what's going on. But I'm going to just go ahead and start opening up to that. And let's see. Let's see. What Laurie? You're saying a Starseed Alexandra Quinn posted a message from the Andromedas yesterday. He has a YouTube channel. Okay, well, I'll have to take a look at that. This is, as I said, this is about a Navy officer and her relationship with them, that they have. She has seen how they make ships, which I thought was interesting, and that's why I sent that to White Dragon, is because how the Andromedas are known as they make ships for everybody, not just them. They make and design ships, and they're considered the shipbuilders of the universe. So I thought it was really interesting, and there's a lot of parallel things to what their Arcturians do. And I don't know that the Arcturians use the Andromeda spaceships. I think Arcturians probably make their own, but there's quite a bit of similarity in that, on what they're doing, and she goes into a lot of detail about how they're made and the things that they do, which is extremely interesting. And I might do another show later about that to go into more detail. But one of the big things about this was that she's saying in, I think it's 2030, that the Andromedans have built this biosphere out in the universe, and it holds 1 billion people, and it's just wonderful. And I mean, it's similar to Earth. And she was saying, Mars used to be similar to Earth, which I have already known that. I actually pulled that information out when I was on the Jeff Mars show, and he was asking me where humans are from, and I pulled out, I'm going, they're from Mars, which I didn't know. And so anyway, they were talking about how Mars was just very similar to Earth, and of course it got destroyed. She wasn't real sure how it was destroyed, but it was very similar to Earth. And she also talked about all these details about who is the Anunnaki, that are actually the ones that are the bullies of the universe, and they're still out there being the bullies. And anyway, she goes into some of that, and which was fascinating. And as I said, it's only, I think it's 33-minute show, and it's packed full of information. But this biosphere, as I said, will handle 1 billion people, and which is humongous. It's larger than Earth, this biosphere, and it's out there. And she actually thought she was going to a planet to find out it was just a biosphere. So I'm going to take a break here thinking about what else I want to say about that, and say hello to some of these people that are coming in. I see Mary has perfect health, which I just love your name, Mary. I see Isabel, Emmy J. I'm getting your questions started. As I said, I will be going. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to try to make sure I'm going in order. I'm just going to be pulling out questions when I see, and it won't even be that any kind of real thought process into it. So don't take offense if I go out of order and I don't get your question or whatever. Just please don't beat me up over it. That's what I'm asking. So I am only human. So hey, Aaron Miss, thanks for joining us today. So I wanted to go into what I really want to do is people to do their homework on this one, because I just looked at it briefly, and she is creating, and what we're supposed to be creating is a unity, and the unity, which we have not known anything about, a military thing that is creating the unity of everybody, and it's called the Omicron Commonwealth. And I put it in the chat so I wouldn't have to spell it out. I'm not the greatest speller. And Aaron Misayev, thank you for saying, do I need help with the chat? I appreciate that offer, which I always do need help with the chat. But right now, I'm just going to try to wing it and just not put the pressure on myself that I have to get everything perfect and have to be in order. I'm just going to take that off the table, that if I miss you or I skip, I'm human. That's all I'm going to say right now. So, but thank you, Aaron Mist. And I might take you up on that later. So anyway, the Omicron Commonwealth is, as I said, I'm going to pull up the website, and you can pull up this website. It's all there for you. I'm going to read it. The Omicron Commonwealth develops, organizes, trains, conducts, and equips Omicron members in order to research, recover, and investigate extraterrestrial visitation phenomena. So that's what they're calling what we're experiencing, which we probably had that name, but I didn't know about it. So all of us experiencers, we're called extraterrestrial visitation phenomena, and they abbreviate it as EVP. And it's to provide standard practices and capabilities to interested or partnered organizations. And you can join this, and it gives you all about being a member. Now, this is not some membership that you just really just randomly become. I mean, it's a really grueling, almost like a military thing that you're going through or process that you're going through to become a member of it. But I want everybody, which I said, I just saw this morning and this information, for some reason, they're wanting me to talk about it, even though I'm not fully versed in all of this yet. But I'm calling for help from all of y'all to kind of research it too and to see what you're coming up with. And I mean, it's got Linda Moulton Howe on here that she's part of it, or they calling her, and she's saying it's a revelationist, but it is, as I said, it is for, and it has a lot of newsletters. But anyway, I would be interested in everybody taking a look at that. I'm going to take a look at it further and also take a look at that show. Um, um, so, and also we have a name. I think the EVPs. Well, we're experiencing EVPs. So it was pretty exciting to get all that information and for me to be able to share that with you. And let's see who else is here. I see Diane G has joined us. And who else? Oh, hey, Viviani. She's joined us today also. And thanks for everybody for joining us on the Saturday. I just saw that we're 11 minutes and 11 seconds into this, which they're validating the information that I am sharing with everybody. And I think this is the first time I have asked people to help me and join me on the research of this. And I want to know, mainly, do we need to be joining it? Because as I said, it's kind of a rigorous process, it looks like, to joining it. So anyway, we need to take a look at it and get informed and be informed, since now there's a group that we know about that's actually talking about what happens to us. Now hers, when she was talking about visiting the biosphere, it was pretty amazing. It was levels and levels of different things, and even had animals and pets, and it was in the future. And she was saying as soon as 2030. I mean, that's only 5 years from now. That's a lot to happen in 5 years. So anyway, so I am going to move on. If they come, let's see if I've finished all the information they want me to share on that. Yes, they're telling me I can move on. Thank goodness, because I feel like, as I said, and usually when I get information, and as I said, it's at 7 o'clock this morning, they've been giving me information over and over and over and over and over and over again to share. And then this is what came up that was important. I also channeled Bizarre this morning, and which I haven't channeled him in a long time. And he was telling me, which I don't, this is almost a little bit of putting fear out there. And I'm not real sure that he's ever said things like this. I wonder, do I need to tell him this? I do need to tell you this. I'm getting verification that I need to tell you this. He says the time is now to work. Time is now to work. 50% of the people will deal with a disaster. And the U.S., and I asked, I said, in the U.S. or the world? They said the world. 50% of us are going to be dealing with disaster. And it's happening now. And he showed me it's like a wave in the ocean where it's coming slowly, and then all of a sudden it's going to be engulfing us. And he's also, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure if I'm ready to share this one. I'm not going to share this one because that's too much. There's too much that you can check on, or might happen or might not happen. So I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to keep that one to myself for now. And we have all been feeling, this was another big thing that he was saying, that we have, how we've been talking about all the energy coming in and how we've been feeling tired and how we're being overloaded. And he said, this is different. It's not that we're being overloaded and we're getting all the information. We're being activated. We are working. We are going off planet. We're going all different places, and we're actually working. We're not just getting information. So he was giving me an example. People who are waking up sore, tired, like something has just hit you and you've hit a wall. It's not just upgrades now that you're actually working, and that we've been called to action. So all along we have been getting upgrades and things like that. But now he's saying this is different, and we are all been activated and we are working. So if you're having wild dreams and as I said, he was making it say that it's more than us just feeling tired. It feels like somebody has just beaten the crap out of us, is what he was showing us. And he was saying that that's because we have been activated. We've gone way past being just downloads. We have gotten our information and we're now activated. So, anyway, that's a lot of information for me to share with y'all. And as I said, they've been giving me a lot of information this morning. Anyway, so I'm going to go over to the questions. I'm sure a lot of you might have questions about what I have said, and I can channel in some of those things too to see what they're. But I've already started 18 questions right now, and I'm not sure how many I'll get to. But as I said, I apologize if I go out of order or miss somebody. Anyway. I appreciate y'all's understanding. But the first one, Earth Mama had quite a few things in here. And I'm going to start with her first comment. She says, clue when I'm going to go with I think I had another one. It might be a better explanation. I'm curious about some things that have been drawn on rocks. I believe they're called petroglyphs. And Spirit showed me many of the spiritual teachers that have been on earth in the way past. And you put no, but then here's the one before is a clue about when, but many of the ones Spirit showed me are on the petroglyphs. Were they star beings or our past ancestors? Okay, let's see. I'm getting it's both. Is it her star beings? Yes. But it is your past ancestors too. So Earth Mama is a yes and yes. It's your star beings, but it is they're saying they're one and the same. The star beings are your past ancestors. So that question is a yes and yes. And let's see, I think you have one more. How have any of you heard about this moon that will be Earth's orbit for a few weeks in the upcoming month or so? Sterling said the Pleiades like to travel in big crafts like planets. Will this be? Actually, Danny and I talked about that on Wednesday when we were here. That there was an extra moon. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. That there's an extra moon out there, and that we're and actually Danny was making fun about seeing all of a sudden two moons. We got two moons up there, but I'm not sure, Earth Mama, about exactly what you're talking about. But the moon that we have, and actually in this show that she goes into about our moon, that the Andromedans did build the moon for us, and it was to help stabilize the Earth's atmosphere to help us develop. And they don't have that contract anymore, so the moon is deteriorating a little bit. Wow, maybe that explains why we're having so many Earth disasters now. Let me see if that's true. That's true. That is it. We're having more Earth disasters now because the moon is deteriorating, and that they didn't even know who had the contract on that moon now. But anyway, that's something to think about. But so I'm not sure, Earth Mama, if you're talking about that extra moon that's coming around, or if that the Pleiades travel in crafts that like planets. Let me see if the Pleiadians travel in crafts like the planets. I'm getting a no on that one. That they do have big ships, and they're probably like the size of a planet, but they don't look like a planet. I'm not sure if that answers your question or if that gives you more detail. I'm going to run down here to see some more comments going on here. I see everybody's talking, which is great. Oh, I love that. Laurie Hunter. Hello, sweet Viviani. So, all right, let me see if I have anything else here before I move on to the next question. Okay, let's see. What's the next question? Earth Mama, I hope I answered your questions, or answer that question for you. Okay. All right, White Dragon. Dr. Gail, have you visited ships where ETs live? What was it like, and did they let you in? Well, the Astromedical one White Dragon, my first ship that I worked on, people did live there. So I'm not real sure if that's what you're talking about, but people lived there. And it actually looked all very similar. If you remember me talking in the past, it looked very similar to Star Trek, The Next Generation. Very similar to that, because when they were giving me a tour on that spaceship, in fact, I was so afraid on that spaceship because I had asked to go there because I had been doing a lot of rescue missions and taking different ETs to that ship in the beginning. And then then they gave me a tour. They actually put me in a bubble so I wouldn't be affected by the energy of all the different ETs in there. And they gave me a tour, and I kept going. And I was so afraid of making a mistake. And I kept going, I wonder if there's ET jail. In fact, I kept going, if I make a mistake, I look the wrong way, wave the wrong way, say the wrong thing, will they put me in ET jail? And do they have ET jail? And that was on my mind the whole time I was there, of so afraid I would do something wrong. And I had 5 beings around me. I had the captain in front of me, which was a gray hybrid. And I had 2 of the, they kind of look like the Men in Black, but they're still in black, and they were behind me. And then I had 2 on the side of me, which were also gray hybrids. They were the tall gray hybrids. The captain was a short gray hybrid, and they were leading me through the ship and giving me a tour. And as I said, I was so afraid of doing something wrong. And even in that process of taking the tour of that ship, it looked like a Star Trek, as a Next Generation. It looked so much like it that even the common area where people ate and drank and whatever, I was looking for Whoopi Goldberg because I knew she had to be in there. She wasn't, but anyway, it was so familiar. I mean, there were some differences. Sure, there were some differences, but that's just what it reminded me of. And I was just amazed, going, oh, I didn't realize these guys were channeling this information and making movies out of it, because they obviously have been up there on that spaceship because it was so close to it. And but anyway, that was also the most devastating moment of mine. As I said, I was in a bubble, which they were protecting me. That my dog Moon, for the first time, popped into my bubble for a few minutes and then popped out. Now, as I said, Moon was a white German Shepherd, and she was 95 pounds. You couldn't miss her. And then I started panicking again. I'm going, they going to put me again in jail, ET jail? And how would you get out? And how would you contact anybody? But then they took me and showed me somebody else on the spaceship who had a pet. So I felt better about it. But yeah, I have been on spaceships where they live, and that was my very first one where they live. And I think, I think most of them have ETs that live on them, or live on it. Even the Athena, they live on that, because it's staffed 24 hours. And so there's a lot of people that live on these spaceships. And I'm going to move over here. I hope that answered your question, White Dragon, because anyway, that was my first spaceship that I saw, that big spaceship, that Astara Medical one, where they were living. But I think most of them do, that all the different kind of species live on a lot of those spaceships. All right, I'm coming over here to comments. Let's see what's there. I'm going to see what all I have missed. Lots of questions. Okay, I'm going to star a few as I go down. That explains all sorts of situations, Damaris. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know if it was a comment of mine or somebody else. And let's see. Who else is here? Okay. Let's see, Kathleen Garrison, what is it that you're saying here? I'm turning into the conversation between Dr. Gail and the ones who are answering. I can confirm what she's saying is true. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. You're really tuning into that. So let's see who else is here. Oh, hey, Colorful Foresight from Queens, New York. Hey, Sylvia. So thanks for joining us. Hey, Celtic Seer. Um, let's see who else. And there's, as I said, people are coming in late. I said a lot of information in the beginning. If y'all would later on, if you missed it, go back and look at the information in the beginning, because we're being called kind of to research this. And let's see. Hi, Akila. Thanks for joining us today. White Dragon, then you would need to deal with me. Hey, Celtic Seer. Hey, Rossi. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me go up here to the next question. Hey, Diane G. Dr. Gail, what work am I doing in the Athena now? I think I may be out of my jumpsuit. Let me see. You think you're out of training now? Okay. Let me see. Diane, is Diane out of training? Oh, yes, you are. You are out of training. And let me see what you're doing. I'm going to have to go up there and look at it. I haven't been up there in a while. You're certainly around some funny ETs. They're kind of comical, like playing tricks on each other, and you're all in it. Part of that. Y'all have a lot of fun together. And let me see exactly what you're doing. And what they're showing me is like the Three Stooges, these ETs that are around you, that they like those comics or those antics. And that's what they're showing me that is going on with you and them. And it looks like you're all standing up in front of computers. And they're saying navigation system, Diane, that you are part of the navigation system on the Athena right now. And they're also telling me you are ambitious, and this will probably just satisfy for you. You'll be satisfied with this for a few years, but then you'll be wanting to do something else. So anyway, there you go, Diane. So I like the guys that you're around. It looks like you're the only female, and it's all guys with you. So anyway, that looks like a lot of fun. So enjoy it while you can. Okay. Kathleen Garrison. Thank you, Dr. Gail, for letting us experience vicariously through your experiences. Yeah, I'm just very fortunate, and I'm not sure why, that I'm able to see these things and remember these things, and to be chosen to be one of the voices for these experiences. I've never understood any of that, but anyway, it is what it is, and here I am. So, and glad to be here, because of course I told them and agreed that I would be of service to them, and this is how they're wanting me to be of service. Okay, hey Diane, cool. It does sound like fun. Thank you, Dr. Gail. Yeah, you're having a good time up there, and you know more about the Three Stooges than they do, so they're kind of learning from you, and so you got like an advantage, I would say, over them with these antics. And Rossi, I just thought of the Three Stooges too. Hey, Rossi. Okay. All right. Let me go to the next question. Let's see who is here. Scrolling down. Oh, there we go. It looks like it's Damaris. Hi, Dr. Gail. Been feeling a little out of sorts. Any info from my guides or angels? Well, Damaris, I just talked about that right in the beginning, and it's real important information, is that we're all feeling out of sorts. They were talking about, we're now just not downloading information. We are actually been activated, and we're actually working. And what they're showing me is you're waking up in the morning and feeling like somebody's beating the crap out of you. That's what they're saying, what they were showing me. And that you're feeling tired and sore. And this is different because I just thought we were just going through another another download or information coming in, but they're saying no, it's more than that. We have been activated. We are working. We are going to sleep and we are working. I'm not even remembering it yet on what we're doing, but that's what they're showing me is happening, is that we're all going to work right now. We have all been activated. We all know our jobs on the spaceships and out on Earth and these things like that. We've been trained and we're now being activated. And because of that transition, it's really rough on us right now because we have not done this kind of work before. It's almost like we have been all called to service. And so that's the information, as I said, since this morning, 7 o'clock this morning, and it's noon here. So it's been like 5 hours of information coming in to me to share with everybody, which is a long time for me to receive information like that. It's usually maybe an hour before show, but today it's been like 5 hours. So they've had a lot of important information to share. And a lot of for us that I have to ask y'all for help, as I said, on discovering or learning more about the Andromedas or the Andromeda and the mainly about the Omicron Commonwealth and about that service. So, okay, let me see what else is going on here. And I do think, oh, hey, Leah. Hey, Pauline. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see who else is here. Actually, let me see go to another question. Looks like it's Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Am I working with Lyrans from Orion? Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me see if we're all working with Lyrans right now because everybody has a Lyran beside them. And they came in, I think it was in November when I was shown that all the Lyrans had just came, almost like they came in as the army and are going right beside all the light workers. And they are there to help each one. And let me see if it's from Orion that yours are from. I'm not getting, Sarah, that they're from Orion, but I'm getting that you do have a Lyran from the Pleiades, actually, is what I'm getting, that you're working with. But I think that's all the, let me see if that's where they all came from. Did the Lyrans that are beside us now from the Pleiades? No. They're all from all over the place. But the one that you have is from the Pleiades. So, as I said, I felt like back in November, the Lyrans came in as an army. I had not paid much attention to the Lyrans before then. And then they showed me they're right beside you. They're right beside you to help. They're here to help the light workers. So there you go, Sarah. Let's see, the next one, Isabel. Were galactic beings involved with the miracles on the sanctuary of Lady of Fatima and Portugal? Blessings. Well, that's a good question, Isabel. I don't know much about all that. I haven't read much about it or heard much about it. Let me see if they were. Oh, yep, they were involved. I'm not sure. It looks like to me what they're showing me is almost like they blessed it. Is what they're showing me, that they blessed it and things started happening. Now they don't interfere with what's happening, is what they're telling me. They're saying we didn't interfere. We blessed it, and the people came together there to create it. That's what they're saying. People came together there to create it. So that's interesting information about that. So they blessed it. And I'm not sure when they're showing me blessing, it's almost like they were over it and created some kind of energy that came down that the human population was able to work with. So thanks for asking that question, Isabel, because I had no idea. So thanks for asking that question. So let's see who else. Hey, Suzanne. I'm going to pull you up here. Suzanne, you're frustrated with not experiencing what others are saying that I am doing when I have no experiences. Suzanne, that's true, or memory, what you're saying. There's a lot of people. In fact, I'm the odd one that I remember all these things, and I'm able to share these things, and I can see these things happening. And You would probably be more of the normal, that you're not remembering, you're not seeing, you're not can't recall the experience. You need to kind of look at that differently, and not look at yourself as being disappointed with yourself. You're actually very normal. And there's a lot of us that don't have these memory of these experiences. But the fact that you're here in the show and you're not running away screaming, going, "Oh gosh, she's crazy. I don't understand that," means you are part of it, means you are doing things, means that you know deep side of you that these things are happening and I'm involved in it. So don't beat yourself up on it if you can't remember it. As I said, I am more the oddball, that I can remember it and I see it. And I'm not sure why I have been chosen to be the one to share it. But please, Suzanne, do not beat yourself up on that. There's a lot of people who cannot see or experience it. So don't put yourself in that category and beat yourself up on that. Okay. So anyway, let me go to the next question. I just want to get that out there, that you're normal, Suzanne. Let's see who's next here. I think this is Isabel. Oh, I got you, Isabel. Okay, it's Emmy J. Emmy J, am I working with the Lyrans? As I said, Emmy J, all of us are. All of us have a Lyran beside us now. They came in as a big force. And yes, and they're here with the light workers. And it's almost they're here as guides. They're here to help us. And they're telling me they're helping us march into this new age. I'm not real sure what all that's kind of meaning. But this new age, this new world, but that's what they're saying. They're here to help us march in. I think we'll be more understanding of all that when it happens, maybe, or when we see it. But they are here beside us and here with light workers. So there you go, MEJ. And here's Diane G saying, yes, Susan, I don't remember things. I just ask my guides in the morning what I've been doing while asleep. So yeah, yes, he's saying, I just don't want you to diminish yourself and diminish your contributions because you just don't remember it. You're just as important as all of us here, and what your work is just as important. Okay, let's go to the next question here. All right. Looks like it's Rossi. Okay. Does my ET collected guys have a message? Feeling pressure on my third eye. Yeah. Yeah, Rossi, as I had said earlier, we've all been activated. And so the pressure on the third eye would make sense. And let me see if there's actually a message. Yeah, I'm going to pull a card for you. And I'm going to pull a card out of the Starseed Oracle deck. But they're telling me also that it's the activation that you're feeling that pressure there, and you got karmic relationships, and it says Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. And what they're showing me is you're actually having a little bit of conflict within yourself. This is not external conflict. This is internal conflict. And they're showing me is that you have exponentially have grown, and the new you is having trouble with the old you. That they're and what they're showing me is almost like, and I have a picture of this that shows like one body holding this new other body, and the body that they're holding is the old person that they having trouble letting go. They're having trouble letting go, whereas the new body's sitting there and holding this onto this old body. And that's what they're showing me, Rossi, is that you're having trouble releasing that old body, the old you, stepping into the new you, which is a lot of us are probably having that issue going on right now. So there you go, Rossi. yeah, you just need to do some work and get a little more secure in your new you. So there you go. Hey, Janie. Hey, Celtic Seer. Thanks for joining us today. And let's see who else is here. Is anybody else coming in? Yeah, thanks for sharing this Saturday with me. But let's see who else we got here. Viviani going, great message. Yeah, I think that's kind of a message for a lot of us here. But it's really important for her that she's going through that. All right, let's see who is the next question. Let's scroll down here. Okay. I'm gonna says Rossi. I think it's a statement from White Dragon. There's been a flurry of council activity lately on the ships. I use Arcturian interiors. I will use exteriors that can shape shift them, then bling them all. At least doodads. That's great. You know, when they're talking, she was talking about you know, that the Andromedans built all these different ships, and their favorite one was the disc ships, the ones that have out there. That's their favorite ones that they built. But they did build all different types for different beings. And then Earth Mama, thank you for this information. Andromeda is the closest galaxy to the Milky Way, and we have already started joining in the outer spirals. That's right. You're right, Earth Mama. And thanks for bringing that up. And yeah, we are joining, and eventually we will be like one universe. Of course, it won't be in our lifetime, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer together. Let's see. Let me go to the next question. Okay. All right, Viviani, if there's time, I would love a message advice from my galactic guides. Please, thank you. Let me see. I'm going to get a sip of water here. Throat's getting a little scratchy. My allergies have been acting up today. I'm not sure about everybody else's, but it's just now becoming really fall here. Here is the activation cards, which I'm not sure why they wanted me to pull this, because it looks like to me everybody has been activated, but let's see what the message is for that. Ooh. Earth. Viviani, Earth. We're getting Earth. And it says, the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. I'm going to keep talking about that show, but anyway, this is true. This is what we're going to be experiencing because of what we're coming into. We're going to be understanding more about the trees, the birds, the animals, everything. We're going to be starting understanding and connecting to it. The rocks, everything. We're going to be having more connections. And even when the show that I watched, they were talking about, they went, she was being shown how a piece of a weapon was being used, and the Andromeda went up to a tree and apologized or blessed it or whatever before he demonstrated what that equipment could do to that tree. And of course, it destroyed a tree. It almost reminded me of like the Native Americans who, whenever they go kill an animal for food or whatever, that they, you know, do a little prayer or bless it. And it was kind of in that kind of realm of how she was talking, which I felt like it's so important that we are needing to, or we are moving towards, especially like this group, we are moving more towards understanding our connection to all these different beings and how we are interrelated and how we, you know, need their help. And so this is basically, I'm glad you asked that question, Viviani. So it allows us to stop and think about that, how we're going to be moving towards our interconnection and our interconnection to everything, and that that we're needing to, we'll be looking at Earth a little bit differently. And even when we're moving to that biosphere, if we're ones that are, if one of us or any of us go to that biosphere to live, they have the animals and everything there, and their connection there is a little bit deeper. So I think that's what's going to be heading. I'm even finding myself, even though I'm always connected to nature and I'm always out in nature, I'm finding myself feeling it more, or feeling the rocks, the trees, the everything. I'm feeling their voices. I'm hearing them more. And I think that's what we'll all be doing here soon. Well, not soon, but eventually. We're going to be having a more deeper connection to Earth and the things on Earth. So let's see. Leah's gone. Funny you said trees. I'm obsessed with a show about them and a channeling. Yes. Years ago, when I was interplanetary liaison, when I was going from planet to planet, and I was listening to the complaints of every planet and bringing it back to the Galactic Council. And when I came to Earth, the trees were telling me about their communication system, which is much more sophisticated than ours, that they can let people or let trees know from distances that something's happened, like fires or whatever. They can let them know. And they were saying that we had to elevate our own vibration before we'll ever be able to join them on a communication system like that. And the owls were saying that they wanted everybody, they knew we had to build things, but they always, every time we build something, they wanted us to keep a natural space. They kept saying, save us an apartment, save us an apartment. And it meant that they wanted us a natural space. Anytime you build a house, you don't have to build a house as big as the lot. Save them a house, save them a spot, give them an apartment, so they kept saying. So anyway, it was on and on and on about the different things that were being asked on Earth, which was pretty fascinating. And one of the biggest things about was the water. Whenever I was talking to one of the dolphins, they were more concerned about the boats, fumes, the gas, all those things, more than they were about how we focus on the plastics. They were more concerned about how the pollutions were coming from actually the boats and things, which we never hear about or talk about, and the industries that are dumping into. Now, we do talk about the industries dumping things into it, but they were actually complaining about the actual boats being in the water, which there's a lot I learned when I was doing that job, the interplanetary liaison. So anyway, thanks, Leah. All right, let's see who's next. So here's what you're saying, Leah. I'm going to buy an old school birdhouse complex. That's a good idea. They were mostly showing me leave them a spot of trees. Just don't plow down the whole lot to build something on. Leave them an apartment. Leave them a natural space. Make a smaller house. Make a smaller building, and leave them something. Okay, this looks like it's Laurie. Let's see. I will keep up with any post Alexander Quinn makes. This is the first time the Andromedas have ever contacted him. Happy to hear you speaking about them also. Yeah, I think the Andromedas are speaking up because of what they're doing, and also that they're wanting to let us know about more of what's going on in the galaxy, and basically saying they're the good guys, and the Anunnaki are like the bad guys. Of course, I have found going through all this that there's good and bad in all of them, but they're that's basically what they're showing, is that they're saying showing the Anunnakis being the bullies out there, and that they go to planets they don't care, like they came here to harvest their gold, to help their planet stabilize and put on their planet. So there is a lot to all that, and learning more and more and more about it is great information for all of us to know what's happening out there. Okay. Let's see who's next. Looks like Kathleen Garrison. Hey, Kathleen, so many ETs or other worders are here already. Okay, I recognize them when I see them come into the store when I'm a cashier. Yes, Kathleen, you must be identifying with their frequency, but yes, you're right. I think more and more the ETs are showing up, and I can't remember. It might have been the same lady that was talking about how these ETs come in and can be here for 3 months, and they can look human, and they can last 3 months and experience the human have a human experience and last 3 months, and then they have to go away and maybe come back. But I think, yeah, they're showing up more and more, or we're being able to recognize them a lot more, and which is a gift in itself. But I think it's because your frequency is probably rising to be able to identify it. So, yeah, yeah. Let's see. All right. What is this, Leah? I love you so much. Do you need a chef artist? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me, or are you talking to somebody else? We all probably need chefs. So, um, anyway, thanks for the offer, or whoever you're offering that to. So, okay. Yeah, you're probably offering that for somebody else, but I'm gonna take it. So, all right, let me see who else is here. Let's see. All right. Hey, Maria. Maria has perfect health, just told by Dr. Gail. McGlackney family is from Andromeda, so good to find more information about them. Yeah, yeah, Maria, you you need to definitely watch that show about the Andromedas, about how much information she has. And they considered, what else did they consider? They're as I said, they are the architects of Earth and the architects of the spaceships. And what else did they say they're architects of? My cat just came in between my legs and put her nose on my hand, and I'm going, what was that? She shows up to calm down the energy, or make the energy. And when I'm doing the shows, she's my energy controller. So I have to pay attention to when she's walking around, about what kind of energy is coming out of the chat or me. Um, but oh, and also, yeah, the other thing is they're the builders of the moon. That's what it was. So, yeah, and the moon was to create a better environment here on Earth, but it is deteriorating now. They said they do not have the contract for the moon; somebody else does, and they don't know who that is. But and that's why we're having so many problems with. Yeah, she's just right down here. So there's something going on here that I think she's telling me to pay attention to the energy, and it must be the energy of the chat. But it seems like the chat's fine. So I hope we don't have somebody coming in here. So anyway, I'll take a look at the chat here for her to be up here. She's trying to change some kind of energy here. Leah, yes, you got to go. Oh, thank you, Leah. I appreciate that. Yes, of course, I would love to have a chef, artist too. Chef. Um, so let's see. Who is my next question? Looks like it's Damaris. If you ask Alexis about, I believe, James Hubble telescope discovery of an armada, she'll answer ABOT is being ETs. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Damaris. If you ask Alexis about the, I believe, James Hubble telescope discovery of an armada, she'll answer ABOT it being ETs. Really? I don't have her. I don't have Alexis, so I can't try that out. But everybody else who has Alexis, y'all can try it out. So thanks, Damaris. We have something to play with. All right, let's see. The next one is Celtic Seer. What planet do I come from? Let me see. What planet do you come from? I think you got a lot of lifetimes on planets, because they're showing me that you've been a Palladian, but I don't think that's your original. Is that her original? No. you picked up a lot of Palladian traits. Is you're from Sirius B? Sirius B. Sirius B, Celtic Seer. Sirius B is a water planet. And they're saying you were a whale. Yes, you were a whale. So you're coming from a water planet, Sirius B, and it's Sirius, Sirius B. And I'm getting a humongous yes on this. And that you were a whale, and that is your origination. So there you go. I've actually been on a different planet, which was Cetus B, that one was spelled Cetus, where I did take my human body off, put a whale body on, and went swimming with the whales. That was probably one of my most fun things that I did as an interplanetary liaison. That's when I found out that I was a shapeshifter, that you just take off your human body, hang it up, and put another body on, which that was pretty amazing. So let's see. Kathleen Garrett, hello, Dirty Harriet. That's the name of my cat. Yes, Dirty Harriet. And she has walked away, so everything must be okay. As I said, when she walks around or when she's coming close, she's changing the energy. She is the energy of the house. She controls the energy. And when I'm in the chat and when she shows up, I'm supposed to pay attention. Okay. Let's see. This will be my last question, and let me find who's next. I can shift it down. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to find the next question. It looks like I have stopped starring. Okay. All right. Looks like to me, it's going to take me a while to find the next question. Let's see. Here we go. Looks like I'm just seeing comments. I like this, Leah. We are all family, one source, love above. Yes. And that's what we're all going towards. And I'm assuming that when they're talking about this biosphere in 5 years, that we're probably going to be really close to that. And let's see. And here's Damaris. She's talking about Suzanne. I have no memories with ETs, so I understand. Yeah, and Suzanne, Damaris is extremely connected. Every time I see her, she is working with everything. ETs, the ETs on Earth, and she doesn't remember anything. And I see her just working away, very, very, very busy. And Leah, we are all family, one source, love above. Yes, and. So, Suzanne, I hope you feel a little better about that. Anyway, it looks like I'm having trouble finding the next question. So, anyway, so I'm going to end it there. Everybody, thanks for joining us today. Thanks, moderators, for keeping this a safe place. You obviously must have run off whatever it was that Dirty Harriet came and was trying to control the energy of. And but yeah, thanks for joining us today. Thank for being here on a Saturday. And also, as I'm calling people to check out this Omicron Commonwealth to see what it's all about and see if we can all get together and share that information with each other, because I think this is important. I'm not sure if we should be joining it or what we're supposed to do to help or what we're supposed to be doing about that. So if everybody could check that out, I'd appreciate it. So anyway, thanks everybody. And I'll be on Wednesday. Can't remember what the show is, but I'll be back on Wednesday. So thanks everybody. And we'll see you on Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye.